It's a birdie full episode of Wearable Today. And today we're going to be talking about Android Wear and getting its new cellular service. Dick Tracy is going to be really jealous. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is episode number 89 of Wearable Today. It's a Fibonacci number. We'll look that up on the interwebs. As we talk about that, we're going to talk about the big news between Misfit and Fossil, the big news between Apple Watch 2, and all the rumors that surround that. And then the biggest news of all, or rumor of all, will Birdie take over the show? All this and more on episode 89 of Wearable Today. Wearable Today is brought to you by Cashfly. Go over to CACHEFLY.com for more information, and we're a proud member of the Maker community over at max.maker.com. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. How you doing? You good? You good? I'm good. Geekazine, Think Magazine, put in the geek, and you've got Geekazine. And as always, we have the man with the plan and the bird sitting going like, I'm cool as all heck. Mr. Luke Wallace. How you doing, Luke?
Doing great tonight, Jeff, as always. I got Birdie here over my shoulder, just hanging out. You can find me on Twitter, Luke Luca, or Google+, google.com/plus Luke Wallace.
Plus Luke Wallace. So it's been an interesting week. We've got some great news, so let's get started with the news. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. And we do it like we always do it with our friend... Big news, little arms, and a very annoying cup.
Hey, the cup makes it. Cup makes it. For now. Oh, yeah, switch to the show notes. Okay, here we go. So first up, big news. The first big news comes from two news stories we talked about last week.
What?
Yeah, it gets weirder. Fossil talked about getting into the Weartech market, but no one expected it to happen like this, as they acquired Misfit for $260 million. This includes the entire app platform, their engineering team, and the whole technology brand. No word on how this is going to integrate with their Q lineup that they have already.
Oh, I'm still wadding from what? Okay, let's move on from there. Apple Watch 2 is on its way. Well, kind of, sort of. 2016, at least it's what's leaked in today by Apple suppliers. The new watch won't make its way to purchase until summer of 2016, and the watch might not show up until Q3. What? While these are all unconfirmed reports, let's hope that Apple doesn't make it so late to the game, because it is really late to the game when Samsung's already coming out with their new watch, and of course the news that we're going to be talking about in a couple seconds here. You're going to start wondering why you have an Apple Watch, and they're just going to fall further behind. But if you want to read more on that, we've got that link over at techtimes.com. It's your father.
So when smartwatches first launched, people were wanting to make calls on them or get by without a phone at all. This would completely fulfill their Dick Tracy fantasies of that, video phone on your wrist.
Hello, how's it going?
Okay. Phone on your wrist. So wait no longer. Google has added it to the Android Wear standard. So we'll start to see more devices appear that have built-in cellular radios for data and voice. The first such device is launching right now with it's called the LG Watch Urbane 2nd Edition LTE. That was all the name of the watch that I said right there.
Can you say that 10 times fast?
No, because it's such a long name, there's no way to say it fast. So it comes with a 480 by 480 screen on a 1.38-inch full circle display, no flat tires here, and it's going to retail for $499 or $449 with a contract from Verizon.
What?
Extreme zoom. That's very extreme.
Thank you. I got to extreme it now. Let's move on. That was it for that one, right?
That is everything for the LG Watch Urbane 2nd Edition LTE.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. Can you imagine a virtual arcade using VR? What? How amazing would that be? Maybe not as amazing as you'd think. Kyle Orland of Ars Technica reviewed the current beta of the Oculus Arcade. And Bertie didn't think it was as great as he was hoping for, or she was hoping for. Between the silence of the room and the locked perspective, it still has a little bit of room for improvement. But getting in the 3D space, because, the other big news was Facebook is now posting 3D or 360 videos. Not really 3D, but 360 videos. We're getting into the VR market really quick, ramping up for 2016, and it's going to be interesting. Speaking of which, what?
Just in time for Fallout 4 fans, we're bringing you the ability to 3D print your own Pip-Boy 3000 Mark IV. It's a wrist cuff that holds many standard smartphones to give you the touchscreen option. You can either create your own from the 3D files or head over to 3D Hubs to get one pre-printed for you. They come in 3 sizes to handle different form factors of phones, different sized phones. This replicates a lot of this is very similar to the Pip-Boys that were sold in some special editions of Fallout 4, but these can get a little bit bigger for the iPhone 6 Plus.
Actually, the 3 sizes are for wrist. They weren't for phone.
When I saw it, I thought it said there were 3 sizes for different.
No, I read it. It said three wrist sizes: small, medium,
large. It said
large.
Small for Galaxy S4, iPhone 5, medium for LG G3, Galaxy S5 and 6.
Fine, correct me.
Just
I only own this show. I could fire you. I can't because I can't hire you because you're not getting paid to do anything.
I don't even work here.
Yeah. Well, you're hired. You're fired. There we go. We've done it. Okay.
Oh.
All right. And finally, a new tracker for kids is launched. The Nabi Complete Band works a lot like regular fitness bands. Imagine that. The kids get challenges to do things, though, like goals like make it to the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, see, I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and if my kids ever had a goal to make it to the Brooklyn Bridge, I think there'd be a small problem. I think I'd have a small problem with that. But, nonetheless, we'll move on from there. Instead of 10,000 steps, they get little challenges like, climb into a stranger's van or something. I don't know, something like that. The go points will give them rewards such as virtual pets and stuff like that. No,
that's not good.
Oh, okay. Don't climb into vans. Okay. Actually, we did have an Amber Alert yesterday because somebody stole a vehicle with a kid in it, and that was blasting in southern Wisconsin for all of last night. It was sad, and I don't know what happened on it. I'm assuming they got the kid back, but because we haven't heard anything about it. So
yeah. But
anyway, if the kid would have had one of those trackers, we would have tracked them. That's They can also share progress with our other kids too on some sort of kids Facebook or something like that. Because
Face Kids.
I don't know. Kids book. Is there something out there like that? I would guess so. But that does bring us to the end of big news and little arms. So, Luke, how was your week?
It was good, pretty uneventful, but getting ready for Thanksgiving, so making some plans, finally figuring out where we're gonna go, where the family's gonna meet up, all that good stuff. So still have a few details to work out, but should be good.
Cool. Where are you gonna go?
We're gonna head down to the Austin area because I have family there. So so we'll be going down there.
Cool. That sounds good. So you gonna ask me how I'm doing?
Well, how are you doing? How was your past week? You didn't have a week off, so it hasn't been very long. But
It's been spectacularly wonderful because
how's your back?
Oh, my back, we won't talk about that. The big thing, of course, getting ready for London 2 weeks from now. Actually, under 10 days. I'm going to be going to jolly old London now. Well, we will have tea and crumpets sometime in 2 weeks. So, but I did one thing I want to show you guys, and I pulled this out. I kept this from the Vegas conference that I was at. Because this is some cool Weartech, and this is what it is. It's a bracelet, and it's an RFID bracelet. And what was really cool about it was we were all given these bracelets, and then we were told to hold on to them. And then, of course, we went to see what's called DJ and the Drummer, which is it's a live interactive show. I did a video on it. I know, Bertie. I did a video on it where you have this drummer on one side, DJ on the other side, and they're encompassed in this box. And this box is actually a lighted LED sign, and it does all these 3D shapes and stuff like that. So it looks like like they could have train tracks coming, and then all of a sudden one of the box lights up, and there's the drummer, and he's going, and then another box lights up, and there's the DJ going, and Bertie, this is my time. Anyway, so but this is where these came in, and of course the battery just died. It was flashing like crazy. I could tap it and it would work, but battery's probably all dead. But the idea was these would flash, these would turn on at certain times. So you know how it would be like the lighters in the olden days.
Yeah,
yeah, I said the olden days. Yeah. This kind of replaces the lighter. So you wear that, and all of a sudden, everybody's wrist is white, and then it's green, and then it's red, and then it's blue, and it's really cool. And it's a company. I saw the name back here. It's called Pixmob, 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 and this was really cool. And I wanted to show this off to you last week, and I wish I would have without the battery dying. I could actually replace the battery in this thing, and probably figure out the RFID frequency, and then use it for whatever I wanted to.
Could it change colors?
Oh yeah, it changed colors. Yeah, yeah. It was and the best part is I should have pulled up a picture here, and it's probably too late to do it now. But it was like every time when they came to the crowd and they wanted to light up the crowd, they used this to light up the crowd, and it really looked like they had their phones up or their lighters up or whatever. And if they wanted a mood of green, everything would be green. If they wanted it red, everything would be red. And it was pretty cool. So, and this, this has been around for a couple of years now, but this is the first time that I've actually gotten to really experience it. And I think the guys over at WWE, they've kind of incorporated this for one of their wrestlers, where everybody's wearing the bracelet, and all of a sudden they turn off all the lights, and then these bracelets turn on, and they look like little lights in the night, little candles or something like that for this weird wrestler. So, but the whole point is that it gives them the control, and it gives you a nice little cool thing, which you end up throwing away anyway. But Pixmob is where it is if you're interested in that. So check that all out there. Other than that, it's been a pretty boring week. I got to go back to the gym. That's how exciting my life was. And of course I got everything set up for London, so I'm ready to go there. But that's pretty much it this week. So sorry.
So I have a question. Do you think they could take those Pixmob wrist lights and maybe with enough effort, make sure you got the right one for wherever you were going to be sitting, and then create pictures or at least kind of layers of stuff and like use them that way?
Not in this situation, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if they could.
They were all the same color.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a reserve seating situation, and then you got the special one for that. There's got to be a way to do it, but I don't know. That's
or put them at the seats or something.
Yeah.
So that way you kind of, here's mine, and you pick it up, and that one's yours, and
I don't know.
Kind of interesting.
I don't think RFID works specifically like that. but I'm not an RFID expert. I don't even play one on TV, so I do not know. And if there's anybody in the watching right now that does know, let us know, and then we'll know because we know. So, all right. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. So anyway, hey, just want to let you know, and that just popped out real too quick, but check out our socials. We're over at twitter.com/Wearable Today, facebook.com Wearable Today, but the YouTube channel is youtube.com/This Week in Glass. Very important here. Want to pay homage to our sponsors there. First of all, let's talk about Cashfly, our friends over at Cashfly, CACHEFLY.com. If you want to, if you've got a podcast yourself, if you've got a video show yourself, you need hosting. CDN is very important, and that's what Cashfly does. Is CDN content delivery network. And ever since I switched over to Cashfly from my old CDN, I can't believe the amount of leglessness, I guess is a word. So I just made it up. But, when somebody clicks on to watch the video, it loads a lot faster. And that's because of Cashfly's fast CDN. And they've got a whole ton of stuff. You can check it all out over at CACHEFLY.com. And of course, if you're, you can do a pay-as-you-go type thing, but there is a 14-day no-risk trial, and you can check it out by trying Cashfly. I highly recommend you do it, and check it out because podcasters, we need our stuff quick, because people, once they watch, if they don't get the content that they're looking for, they're going to move on quick. So you want that video, you want that audio to start playing right away. And that's where Cashfly.com comes in. And that's over at Cashfly, CACHEFLY.com. Of course, all of our Wearable Today deals are found over at Amazon. Just go over to wearabletoday.com/deals. That will port you over to this page right here. It's a great page. And as you can see, you get some great deals like this Chitronic magnetic smart ring for only $11.56. Now, these are refurbished, rebuilt stuff, but they're just as good. Like the Garmin Vivolt fitness band, the Motorola Moto 360, Samsung Gear Fit, the Pebble smartwatch. If you want to get, these are great Christmas presents for somebody, and get them some great Weartech over there by going over to deals, to wearabletoday.com/deals, and of course, it helps us keep the lights on because we got a lot of lights to keep on. I'm just saying. So, all right. And of course, you can also leave a tip over at paypal.com/ or paypal.me/Jeff Powers, paypal.me/Jeff Powers, or you could just Google Wallet us. I just found out today we can actually do Google Wallet. Geekazine@gmail.com, Luca at gmail.com, right? Yeah. And, give him all the money. Give me a penny. I'll take a penny. And then him $100. Easy. So buy that for $1. So anyway, let's I think that's it. So let's move on to our next part, and that is Around the Mythical Front. Beep 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 beep. What are you doing?
You're doing the sound. We need sound for this. So you can't just have a little thing there going up. You gotta have something.
That's true. That is true.
We need some theme music. Are you gonna kick in the theme music and post here?
Oh yeah. The live show does not get the theme music, but the post gets the theme music. So, are you bobbling your head?
Yeah, I'm rocking along to the theme music. I'm assuming it'll go something like that. I really don't know.
Monday, happy days. Anyway. It's the MyZone MZ3. It's now available for purchase. It's a heart rate chest monitor that also comes with BPM, which is a point system that you can use to challenge yourself or others. What we will be calling wear gaming, and I'm coining a term, wear gaming, and that's basically you wear it, you game, wear gaming. And so, but this, what I wanted to talk about with this article is. We've talked a lot about watches, wearables on your wrist, and this is a strap-on wearable. That didn't sound right. This is a chest strap-on wearable, and there's a lot of back and forth on which wearable actually gives you the better information. And a lot of people believe that chest strap-on wearables, I have to say that right, chest strap-on wearables are...
Chest strap wearables.
Okay, chest strap Weartech, how's that?
Something like that.
Yeah, the strap-on Weartech. Oh wait, I did that wrong again. The chest Weartech it will give you better numbers than wrist Weartech, and of course, a lot of wrist Weartech is meant not just, it's just basically loosely telling you that you have 10,000 steps. I challenge any Weartech out there that attaches the wrist. I do have my Misfit right here, and especially one that you can take out of the watch band and put it onto your belt buckle or put it in your pocket to show me 100% accuracy with 10,000 steps, because it's just not going to happen. It's an estimate. It's not a reality. And of course, they also go by the GPS in some of these wearables. So, if you go from point A to point B, and it's going to say, okay, you went that far, that's how many steps, and so therefore that's how many steps you did. And your steps could be longer, your steps could be shorter, and it also takes the accelerometer and it figures that out. And that's how it comes up to 10,000. But, I don't know if you watch, you don't watch Big Bang Theory, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Well, in Big Bang Theory, basically, Howard built a device to cheat the Fitbit to show that he did 10,000 steps. He ended up doing like 14 miles or something like that. It was pretty crazy. So, so where's your chest strap on?
My chest strap wearable does not exist, or I don't have one.
Okay.
Is the short version of that. So, yeah, I've definitely seen some around. It seems really neat. I like the idea of wear gaming, where people are going to be competing with each other because of that. I mean, there's that whole idea of, friendly competition, and just comparing yourself to other people can be a good motivation of, hey, so-and-so went out for a run tonight. Are you going to go out for your run? I really should. Well, I don't want to lose, right? I at least want to, want to have a good standing, or, at least want to do something so that I'm competing somewhat. So
yeah, especially if you're going to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Exactly. And yeah, a lot of this stuff seems to kind of overlap of, you want to know how many steps you took, and then you want to compete with other people to be better than them.
Yeah.
So yeah, because otherwise, why would you go running? Like, just to better yourself? Like, nah, what's the point?
I run until I get hungry, and then I go get a bear claw.
Do you ever run further than the donut shop?
Yeah, when I need milk.
It's a good point.
For my donut. I need milk for my donut, so I'll need that. So that's that.
Yeah.
So, how about you? Do you run at all?
I have gone jogging occasionally, not a lot. And probably I won't for a while because it's cold, or getting cold.
It's cold. Oh, what's the temperature? What's the temperature in Dallas?
Right now let's see. It says 69 degrees. So yeah, a little too chilly for me.
Oh man, get out the winter coats. Oh, good. You want to borrow my sweater, Eder? Hey.
Yeah, no, it's So no, it's not too cold. I'm just being a wimp.
Yes, you are.
But so it's like, yeah, it's actually really good weather, I guess, to go running, except for that it's raining pretty hard tonight. So not a good night tonight.
Okay,
that's never fun.
Well, you got to put on your rubbers.
Right. Yeah. So
you get your rubbers. You get your rubbers and your strap on. You're all good.
Yeah, sounds like a good night to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're yeah, that's right. We're gonna need to move your desk back just a little bit.
Wear gaming, huh?
Wear gaming. I'm really surprised. Speaking of Wear gaming, I'm really surprised. The popular game Ingress, right?
Oh yes, I am level 8 in there. I got up to level 8 just in time for them to add levels 9 through 16.
I should probably load Ingress back on my I'm getting I do want to say this. My friends over at Verizon got me this one. This is the new Motorola Droid, and the cool thing about this is it's got an international plan on it. So I'm going to be taking this with me to London, and maybe I should load Ingress on this thing and see and get some international points off that. But I haven't played Ingress in a long time. My whole point is, when is Ingress gonna come out with a? I'm looking like William Shatner here. When is Ingress gonna come out with a wearable? When?
So they came out with the watch apps.
Well, yeah, I know, but
a little bit ago. So they kind of are using the wearables that people already have.
Yeah, they need their own wearable. I think or brand it, a Samsung Ingress. Kind of like when you buy the Xbox One, you get Fallout 4.
Well, there's that new Pokemon game coming out that's basically Ingress but with Pokemon as
really?
the theme. Yeah. Yeah.
So you try and find Pikachu, and I was never.
Exactly. You have to go to like physical places to where these Pokemon might be, and then battle and capture them and all that kind of stuff, like out in the real world. So it's basically Ingress, but with a Pokemon theme,
with a licensing deal.
So, I'm sure. So, and I will say that Ingress did motivate me to go on a lot of bike rides, because it's like, if I could kind of map my route and figure out, if I go this way, I can hit a whole bunch of portals, and I could go and then link them all together and get a bunch of points. And that's how I leveled up to level 8 eventually, is I'd go on these little hour-long bike rides to hack a bunch of portals.
Who has an hour to do that type of stuff? That's cray-cray.
It was weekends, nights, those kind of things.
What's a weekend? I don't understand that. So anyway, let's get back to the article here.
Yeah.
So, if you how do I want to put this? Basically, would you get a strap-on?
Yes.
Okay.
I like that as a soundbite. Just that one question and answer.
Yes. Would you get a? Yeah. Okay. I'll make that as a replay, and we'll replay that from time to time.
Great. So I think that like a heart rate monitor would be really good to get. I don't know how much they said this one was going to be, but does it say in the?
Oh yeah. Let me look.
I think the issue is always just like, if I was a athlete, here's the thing. If I was an athlete and it was like, I really need to optimize my heart rate at all times, and I'm, training for a marathon and all this stuff. Yeah, it'd probably be worth it. But it's like, if I'm just a casual jogger, like, and I only go jogging every once in a while, like it comes down to a lot of it. So
yeah, the price is, I got it right here. It says the MZ3 is 7-month battery. Costs $149.99. Comes in 3 sizes. There's also a MyZone sports bra, which I need, $59.99, with the MZ, where the MZ3 clips into. So that's kind of interesting. It'll clip onto your sports bra. So you can buy just a $5 sports bra, and do that.
Or they have the watch for $129.
Yeah, the watch is $129.
Like $129, but it seems like the chest strap would be the better way to go.
Actually, they also have the watch and the belt combo for $229.99. That would probably be the best way to go with the sports bra, and then you'd be good to go. So I think interesting stuff. Well, you guys out there, tell us what your thoughts are for this. Would you get the chest? Would you get the wrist? Would you get the chest and the wrist? Would you get the sports bra, chest and wrist? I don't know. Let me know. Twitter me over at Geekazine. Twitter Luke over at Luke Luca. And go from there. I am your father. All right. So where are we? There we are. Let's move back to focus on one of the articles, and one that's near and dear to your heart, and that is basically the Dick Tracy watch. That's Dick Tracy coming here for you. Anyway, so we've got the Android official blog, Android Wear lets you stay connected even when your phone isn't with you. With Bluetooth and Wi-Fi support, for example, you can see who's calling when your phone is in the next room or respond to messages at the gym when your phone is at home. No more worrying about that Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Your watch will automatically switch to cellular connection when you're out of range. As long as your watch and phone are connected to a cellular network, you'll be able to use a watch and send and receive messages. So my main question to you, Luke, on this is the phone, because the phone has a SIM in it, and the SIM, it gets deactivated. You can't reactivate the SIM. You basically throw away the SIM. You get a new SIM. Is the watch going to copy the SIM information? Does it have to get its own SIM card? And if that's the case, would that become its own data or its own cellular plan?
Yeah, that's where it gets real messy. It sounds like that it will have its own data plan because it will have its own phone number, and you'll have to call this watch with a different number, which sounds kind of messy. People have said, well, Google Voice in theory could answer on either one because it could forward to one or both of them, maybe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like it has a SIM card in it. So far, the only place I've seen that has it is Verizon, which I don't think they use SIM cards.
Yeah, they
I
do.
think they do.
Yeah, they do. So,
Okay.
but here's the thing is, and I just had the LG G Tab 8.3 from Verizon, which comes with the SIM card, of course, and it does have its own number to it. But the number is not you can't call that number. If you called the number, it just says that there's no phone there.
Yeah.
But the number is there for the data. And what I'm guessing is, especially on Verizon, AT&T just started the Wi-Fi calling option. So now I can call you, Luke, over Wi-Fi on my cellular phone, and then they don't have to worry about flipping the bill on that one. It'd be your Wi-Fi provider. So, if I'm in the gym or something like that, and my watch is paired up to Wi-Fi and my phone is paired up to Wi-Fi, and I don't bring the phone in, I leave it in the car or the locker or something like that, and I get a phone call, it'll most likely come over Wi-Fi rather than a cellular network, I'm guessing. But it really depends on the watch, because that is where it's going to determine whether you need a SIM card or where you need Wi-Fi, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it may forward the call on from the phone itself instead of trying to have its own phone number, because it seems really odd that you'd have to give people two different phone numbers.
Yeah.
Or people wouldn't do that, and so you wouldn't actually get any calls on it. So maybe it's some sort of call forwarding type arrangement where it'll just forward calls to your watch, and you set that up.
No, I'm guessing it's going to be like, Vonage. Vonage has that, call one number, all your devices ring type thing. And of course, with Apple devices, if your phone starts to ring, your iPad will start to ring, and your other devices attached will start to ring. The same thing will happen here, and there's good and bad to both of that. But that's what I think is going to happen on that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I think that's a good point. That's what happens with Google Hangouts when I get a call on my Google Voice number. Is basically every device I've got starts ringing, and my computer's ringing, my phone's ringing, tablet, my watch, everything is ringing. So it'll probably be something like that. Yeah, it'll be crazy. So, yeah.
Did I throw you off? I didn't mean to throw you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it threw me off. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me?
I don't normally do that. I don't mean to throw you off. That's just a one-time thing. It never happen. Never happen again. Never.
But I do think that it's really neat that they're allowing this, because not only is there a coolness factor, but there's actually a lot of utility to it. Of, hey, I don't have to take my watch, or I don't have to take my phone at all when I go for a run, or I don't have to take it with me when I'm going around the gym, so that I can make sure to get, the messages on my phone or whatever. I can just leave my phone in my locker, in my car, wherever, and it's a lot safer. And, in those kind of cases where that you're not going to need your phone.
Yeah, definitely. And I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I go to the gym now that I've gotten permission to go back to the gym. I actually went this morning, and and of course it's cooler here. So now I'm bringing the coat in. I'm going to a locker. I'm locking it up, so I get to lock up my wallet and my and I could literally lock, or actually lock my, not literally. Yeah, I suppose literally I could lock my phone in there, but I could actually lock my phone in there and then just have the watch and do all that, and then if for some reason somebody's going to call me at 7 o'clock in the morning, then yeah, I suppose I could take a phone call, but I'm not going to take a phone call at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's way too early. I'm working out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think that the downside to all of this is the additional data plans and the negative effect on battery life that can have, because the cell radios are typically what use most of the power in mobile devices. When you're on Wi-Fi, it's a lot lower power usage being used, and so you don't have to, like, so the batteries last a lot longer. With a watch completely on the cell network, especially if it's got GPS going to track your run or anything like that.
Yeah.
I would be more concerned about the battery life on something like this, because it may be that, yeah, you can go for a run with it, but you better not go for a marathon with it, because you won't be able to use the watch a lot
unless you have an extra battery or something like that. Yeah.
And I don't know if these
watches.
watches have
Go ahead.
swappable batteries on them.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, and this is what kind of concerns me a little bit. But it all depends on if the watch actually has its own SIM card to it, or if it's spoofing a SIM card, which I suppose you could do, a virtual SIM card of some sort. But how many devices can you end up attaching onto a phone, and how can that be taken from? So let's say I'm in the gym and I'm on my phone, and somebody notices I have a watch that has a cellular service attached to the phone. If it does some sort of virtual SIM card by any means, and we're just speculating right now because this is just saying that they're doing it, and we've got the LG watch coming out, but it really hasn't come out yet. How is it that somebody else that has the same watch could actually hook up to my phone and all of a sudden be listening in on my phone calls through their watch? I mean, is that possible, or what are we? Is there going to be a level of encryption or something like that? I suppose it has to be Bluetooth paired too, but I don't know. What? Any insight into that?
Yeah, I would think that it uses a separate data connection, so it's not going to be passing the data to the phone, but I don't know how secure those connections are, if it's still fairly easy to eavesdrop on cellular phone calls, or if all the data is encrypted now. I would think with the LTE that it's just basically a VoIP system over their LTE, so it's probably either encrypted or at least encoded in some way that is not easy to just decode and listen to.
Okay. I mean,
I would think that wouldn't be a concern of mine, of having a watch like this, is, somebody listening in on conversations, any more than the concern is listening on to a cell phone conversation.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm thinking more of trying to pair into more sensitive, because the president of the United States is not going to be wearing one of these watches by any means anytime soon.
Yeah, that's probably not a secure line.
So and my point is that and they actually just touched upon this on the TV show CSI Cyber on Sunday, where they used video chat, and they introduced some malware in the video chat where a third party could be doing some voyeurism online, and that's where I'm getting at, is something could get injected, and next thing you know, somebody could be passing you and then pairing up with your phone, which then when a phone call comes in, will they be able to intercept or latch on to your phone call? And then also, if while we're on that same subject, could the NSA be doing something that way? And could this be a whole new spy game on just by attaching and pairing or duplicating somebody's cellular smartphone, Weartech, and go from there.
Perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I personally wouldn't worry about it too much.
You're not 007? You're not James Bond?
Yeah, for sensitive stuff like that, maybe I'd use other methods, but yeah, I'm not real concerned about that kind of stuff. I know that a lot of that stuff is encrypted. A lot of that stuff requires user interaction to do the pairing. It's not something where you just like go on the watch and say, "Hey, pair to this phone," and it just pairs. Like you have to confirm it on both sides, and so it's easy. It's sometimes it's hard to do, even when you're like, "It is my phone and my watch," and sometimes getting them to pair is not always obvious if they're in a weird state where one forgot, the other one remembers, and so one thinks it's paired and the other one doesn't. But it might be something that people are able to figure out, or at least they could at least try by like, I'll just try pairing my watch to that guy's phone, and we'll see. Eventually, maybe he'll accept it, and then I can start looking through his data from some watch apps I have.
Mm-hmm. One more question for you. Apple has already said that they're not going to do anything like that. They've already made those statements that, it's not going to be replace your phone. It's going to be a companion to their phone. Now that Android has come out with this statement, do you think that Apple is going to retract their comments and start building for a cellular type phone?
I think that they will wait to see how successful it is. I would not believe that they haven't considered it, and I would not believe that they've never prototyped it or tried it.
Yeah, there's a prototype sitting in some basement somewhere. Right? There's no doubt.
That they're doing it just because all of these companies try everything, and then they experiment with how good can we get the battery life, how good can we get the experience. I mean, we've talked about video on a watch, and you're maybe a little bit more supportive of that idea than I am, but there's lots of different concerns there. It causes a lot of different problems. And the same thing with cell phone radios is that they introduce a whole nother level of power consumption. And then there's this data cost and, cost of the device and cost to make the device. So, Apple typically charges an extra like $130 for the iPads that are the same as the Wi-Fi ones, but have the cell phone radio. Like the only difference is that cellular data connection. And they're like, something like $100, $130, $150 more. And so you would imagine that the watch would cost they would charge a premium for that.
You would think that, but look at how cell plans have changed in just the last 2 years itself. When I got this iPhone, the iPhone 6, before that I had the 3GS, which just happens to be sitting right here. So I had the 3GS, and I got it on the AT&T unlimited plan. And, then they got rid of the unlimited plan, but I was grandfathered in on the unlimited plan. And I had it through my Nexus 5, had it through my Windows Phone. And then when I got this one, they said, well, you should go to the monthly, pay off to buy it, the Next plan, whatever they call it, the AT&T Next plan. And, which I took because it gave me not only phone protection, so if somebody steals this phone or I damage it, I can get another phone, but it also has the tethering option. So I don't have to get an iPad with a separate SIM into it. But the other thing that happened, and this is where I'm going with this last 2 years, they've basically taken all phone calls and text messages. You used to be like 500 minutes of calling and then nights and weekends free or whatever, and then like 900 text messages. No, it's not that anymore. It's all free. It's all part of the package. There's no caps there. The caps are on the data side of things. And so bringing in a second device that shares on that phone network and the texting, is it really going to matter for somebody like AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile or anything like that? Because people aren't going to call people on their watches because they're not calling them on their phones to begin with. So why would they call them on a watch? Just maybe for the novelty of it or whatnot, and especially if there's no FaceTime to it. Which I am guessing, yes, there is going to be one of these watches is going to have some sort of, well, it won't be FaceTime, it'll be Hangout or whatever, where the watch, like this one right here, this I'm looking at this second watch off of this group, one with the guy's face, and it kind of looks like there's a little camera on the top of it, and that's what I would guess it would be, is a little camera. So you'd have to look at the watch itself to have that FaceTime, or I'm sorry, that Hangout effect. But I'm guessing there's going to be one that's going to try it.
Yeah, it's a good point about how things are changing. And I do think that as these devices start to have this kind of functionality, we might see a change. We've seen changes in the data plans because of how tablets work, right?
Yeah.
You can basically get kind of pay as you go functionality where you can just buy a little bit of data when you need it, and then you don't have to commit to a 5 gig plan on your tablet. You can just add a gig, and then if you use that up, well, add another gig for the month, and then whatever. But I'm trying to see on these because they had a little tiny link in that article that I didn't notice before to the AT&T one, and it looks like it's pretty expensive, at least. Well, so they're doing a mobile share value plan, and it looks like they're doing it as it's another $10 a month, and then it shares the data along with your standard phone plan. AT&T's price is also $199 with that 2-year contract, so the price is a lot lower than what I at least found on the Verizon site. So $199, but then you're committing to $10 a month to be able to use the data on that device that is shared off your normal AT&T data plan, which is not really too bad. It still makes the watch about $500 over the course of the year, but a lot of that money is going so that you can use data on it, which $10 a month to have that device on there, that's probably more doable if you're going to use it very much.
Exactly. Wow, that just crashed this whole thing. I tried to pull up the page and see if I can bring it up.
Yeah. That AT&T site's a little
wonky at best. Here it goes.
It's pretty heavy. It has a lot going on there.
Here's that word heavy again. What in the future of the weight displacement? No, I can't do it. So this is the AT&T LG Watch Urbane 2nd Edition LTE.
A long name.
Yeah, and it's Android 4.3 devices, Android Wear for iOS. So I don't know. If you really need a watch, I don't wear watches anymore. So if you really need a watch, I suppose. I don't know.
It's not a bad price because if you think about like the Moto 360 or a lot of the other watches, they're in that $350 to $400 price range. So here you're able to get one for $200. And you're committing to another $250 over the next couple of years, but that's still that keeps the price kind of lower in the short term, at least for the next year. So it's not really that bad of a price considering, what all you get with that, considering you get that mobile data plan. Again, if you're going to use it, if you're like, I never go anywhere without my phone, or I never even want to go anywhere without my phone, maybe not the best thing to get.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'm not clear on this is, could you use it as a Bluetooth headset when you are near your phone? So let's say you don't want to have a data plan on it. Could you still talk into your phone and listen through your phone or through your watch so that you don't need that data plan? They seem to imply that in the article that they're talking about how you can use Bluetooth maybe as a headset, or it supports speakers now. I'm trying to find that.
Okay. I'm looking at the details on the AT&T page. Let's see. It doesn't say too much on there. I'm guessing if the phone's nearby, it'll pair and use it that way, but it will go to 4G LTE. Well, this one says bands 2 and 5. 4G is HSPA plus with enhanced backhaul. Excuse me. It does support some 3G. It looks like, and GSM. So, but I'm guessing if you're using it next to your phone will take the hit on the call. But if you leave your phone at home and you're out of range, Bluetooth range or cellular range between the pairing, then it'll probably then go for there. Or if you're hooked up on the Wi-Fi, and this will probably be the most interesting thing, if it does hook up with Wi-Fi, where if you're on the same node in the Wi-Fi, and then it'll probably use the phone over your watch. But then when it fails those connections, it'll fail over. That's my guess on it. So. But if it's once again, it's all speculation until somebody gets a watch and starts telling us otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, this would be something to definitely look for reviews on as these come out. And I don't know, maybe we can find one for next week's show. We can find some reviews of the what's it called, the LG Watch
Urbane
2nd edition LTE.
Yeah.
If we can find some reviews for that thing, then we will. Maybe we'll find those or post them or whatever.
I'll talk to a couple contacts, see if I can get a watch too, and go from there. So, and of course, if you are working with any of these companies that have these watches and want to get us watch, let us know. Just drop us a line, and we'll go from there. So, all right. Well, that does it for this episode of Wearable Today. Luke, thank you very much for joining us. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, you can find me right here each and every Monday morning that we do a show.
Monday
evening. What day is it? What time is it?
Are you in Berlin or something? What?
So I'll answer all those questions. So Monday night, we actually do a live stream. So if you want to see what we talk about before and after the show, you should definitely check out the live stream, because you're only getting like the highly polished versions of us on this. If you want to see us raw and uncut, it's before and after the show. But we only show that live. It's not recorded. You cannot see it later. You can find me on Twitter, Luke Luca. What's that face for? And then
I want to see this highly polished version.
That's what you're seeing. This is the best I got. Like, if you don't like this, there's nothing I can do.
Okay, that's polished. Polished.
Yeah.
Polished.
I'm high and you're polished. There we go.
Yeah. You're high and I got my strap on. Okay, let's move on from there.
Whoa.
You can find me over at Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek, Jeff at wearabletoday.com, Luke at wearabletoday.com, Birdie at wearabletoday.com, you at wearabletoday.com. Would you like to be a part of the show? Just let us know, and we will get you to going with that. So, and of course, the show notes told you next week we will have a show, but 2 weeks from today we will not. Next week, then that's Thanksgiving, and then the rush for Black Friday, and then I'm going to London, jolly old London. Well, we'll be eating teas and crumpets, and all the English people will be mocking my English accent, because I don't have a good English accent. I'm telling you that right now. And
maybe you can pick one up while you're there.
Maybe I could pick one up right then. So, but what will happen then is Jennifer and I we're going for HP Discover, and I'm going to be doing some stuff, and we'll be talking to the people about wearable tech there, and then Jennifer's coming with me. She's going to stay. We're going to stay the weekend, so there's going to be no show, 2 weeks no show, unless we figure something out. But you never know. And then, of course, so next week, yes, 2 weeks off, and then we're back. So I just want to let you know on that. So, Luke, thank you very much for your time and insight as to what's going on in the Android Wear area. I think that we had a very powerful focus here, and I think if a lot of people will get a lot of good information out of this.
Yeah, a lot of good discussion there.
So. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks to our friends over at Cashfly and MakerMax, which help out with the show a lot. And, of course, we will see you next week, same bat time, same bat station, with another episode of Wearable Today. Until then, you guys geek out and take care.